What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday night. We're here to talk some birds, baby, so it's always going to be a great Friday night here, but I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here, whether you're watching this live, watching this later. You know this is the show just for you, the fan. Any questions, any comments you have, you can throw them in throughout the show. Got a couple questions from the mailbag. We're going to answer some good ones here. Some great conversation to be had. So let's get this bad boy going. I'll show you graphics. You have any questions, things from throughout the week, anything like that, we'll continue to do that. But again, this is all for you. So anything on your mind. And the last few weeks, you guys have really been able to get me drifting out to sea. So I love it, man. That's what this is about, coming here on Friday nights, having this time with you guys. I truly cherish it. And it's always a great time with you guys, but you guys have been getting wild. I know, 86 days away from football. So we've got some time here. And July 26th, the first practice of training camp, they'll arrive on the 25th, but we've got some time here. So we're going to go crazy. I know, but we're going to go crazy together, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, Robert? Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. My man Twisted in here as well. Sean, my dude, let's go. Marky, Dan, let's go. And William, appreciate you tuning in. I am doing well. Hope you're all having yourselves a great start to your night. Let's go. It's Friday, baby. But we're talking birds. So that means the excitement is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. So we talked about some things throughout the week. We talked about Nolan Smith getting a little bit of work at off-ball linebacker. Like to see that. He was at the pass rush summit run by none other than Von Miller himself. And that's quite exciting news to hear that young man putting in the work. He's already got me quite excited about what he's going to do. So putting in that work, you love to see it. That's what time of the year it is. You want to know that these kids are doing the right things off the field, and that's all I want to hear. So ready to rock and roll. Yesterday, broke down that defense again for you, came with the new cover schemes, and I gave you the detailed versions this time. The first time we talked about them, I simplified them and told you guys, look, I didn't have detailed information on exactly how Sean Desai was running all of his coverages. Apparently was dead on except for one on cover 8. So we fixed that up. We talked about that last night. And look, it was a great time. Appreciate all of you that tuned in. A lot of great questions, a lot of great stuff in there, and hope you were able to enjoy that. We went through, looked at the roster, what we've got on defense, the projected depth chart, all of the stuff that you guys, the packages that you want to see, that 3-3, the 2-4, all that stuff that we've been talking about. I was able to show you that. And if you have any questions on that, you can, ask away here. But that whole show is loaded. So you're looking for something to get you by this weekend, go check that one out. Let me know how you're feeling about it. But I brought some things with me tonight. And because of some of the fan questions here, we've got some good content to talk about. So again, it's whatever's on your mind, but I will try to, lead it a little bit here and we'll talk about some things. But again, whatever's on your mind. Don't have Twitter. Can you tell us on here who you pick on the days, bro? Can you tell us on here who you pick on the days? I'm not sure what you're asking here, but I don't have Twitter. Can you tell us on here who you pick on the days? I'm not sure what you're asking here. Are you saying for the days for the countdown, who I'm putting on them? Is that what you're asking me? If you ever have any questions about that, or whoever, is on a picture or whatever, just feel free to comment, man. I'll always answer any questions that you have. But yeah, just let me know whatever you're talking about, and I'll happily answer that for you. Hello, Chiquita. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're having a great Friday night. We're here. We're talking birds. And you were here last week. I know a lot of you were in here. It was pure pandemonium. And I love every second of that. You guys had it going every direction, and I'm all about it, man. So it's part of my craziness. So I love it. I love it. Who do you think will have more yards or catches next year, Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown? It's a great question. We saw last season, A.J. Brown. Holy shit. We talked about what kind of addition that would be. And, getting him in this offense, what that did for Hurts and, for Devontae opening things up. I think you love to see it. but it's 1A, 1B. They're both phenomenal. You guys know, for those of you who've been following me, you guys remember I wrote that article on why I felt the Eagles should draft Devontae Smith. One of my favorite receivers I've seen. You guys know my infatuation with wide receivers. And this kid is somebody that he has stood out to me more than anyone in, the past 10 years that I've really been focusing in on the draft. And I think that it's amazing that we have he and AJ Brown here on the same team. But I think AJ Brown, just the way that this offense is built and, with his skill set, he just finds himself getting, more yards and catches. And he had like a couple hundred more last year. He had like 1,400. Devontae had like 1,200. That's pretty effing good for both. But I think that, I think it'll go the same way almost, in the sense that maybe AJ sees more looks here and there. He's just a tougher dude, bigger yak guy, but not to say that Devontae can't do that stuff. But, I think that AJ Brown will probably lead those categories, but I think this year it's going to be a little bit closer. And Devontae Smith's only going to continue to get better. And that's saying something, because he's already one of the best wide receivers in the game. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver, and I think he's going to go out and show that this year. So great question, but, they're both going to feast. So first duo of Eagles wide receivers to have 1,000 yards each ever. We've never had that before. So 2,000-yard receivers is pretty impressive. And, Jalen Hurts, a running quarterback, he's a running back. Pretty impressive what he was able to do there. So love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, 86 left. That is Zach Ertz on that one. But if you ever are wondering who I have there, it's usually going to be active players, unless there is somebody that really stands out and we're going to make them on that day. And I really just was hesitant for Tyree Jackson. Wasn't really feeling Reggie Brown. And I know Zach Ertz still plays in the NFL for another team, so I usually try to stay away from that. But Zach Ertz will always be an Eagles legend to me. So I love the dude, and went with Zach Ertz today. So 86 days left. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's 86 days until that first game, but let's take a look at some of these key dates in case you have missed any of these shows talking about this stuff. You see here, we will report on the 25th to training camp, and then the first practice is on the 26th. Then you have 3 preseason games starting on the 12th of August. Then you have the 17th and 24th. That one roster cut down that they have this season, only one, on the 29th. Now, remember last year we traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the 30th of August. So, people are getting let go. Things are happening. People are moving around. So, definitely could see some trades, things happening within this time period. But just remember, we would maybe like to get a look at what we've got first before we make any moves. So, regular season opener, September 10th. That is what we're talking about here. 86 days away from then. And then we've got 90 days until that home season opener against Minnesota. So, I'm pretty effing excited, man. We're under 100 days. So that is, to me, that's excitement enough. And we're going to get through this, ladies and gentlemen. And each day it gets closer and closer. And it makes me feel better. So I know it's tough through these times, but this is sicko season. This is for those of you who like tuning in and talking about all of this stuff, and I've always been like this, so appreciate all of you, tuning in these times, because I know a lot of people don't, and a lot of people tune out or come back during the season or come back when the Eagles are winning or whatever. So, hey, those of you who are sickos like me, truly love each and every one of you, and appreciate you continuing to tune in. And of course, my man, always here for you, whatever, questions. And if you want to, post that on the actual picture or whatever, you can do that too. It doesn't matter. But to be the best wide receiver in the room with Waddle, Judy, and Calvin really tells you how great he is. Yeah, man. And that's saying something. And, all very spectacular wide receivers that you just mentioned there. And I remember during that draft, I was on the show with Fourth and John, and I talked about, one of my hot takes for the draft was, I thought it was weird, just the way I said it, though. I was like, look, I feel that Devontae Smith is a better wide receiver than Jalen Waddle, but I think that people are sleeping on him in this draft, and I think he will get drafted before Devontae Smith. But then I said something like, but still would love to have Devontae Smith fall to the Eagles, something like that. You guys know that's who I wanted that year, and we ended up getting him. But it was crazy because Jalen Waddle goes to the Dolphins, and it's like, dude, this kid is effing talented, but Jerry Jeudy was super talented, still is. So is Calvin Ridley. So that is saying something, right? And I think this kid's going to go down as one of the best Eagles receivers of all time. I just think he's really that good, and he's only going to get better. So love it. And yes, me too. So I went with Zach today, and well, tomorrow you'll have to find out who it is. But yo, my man, appreciate you tuning in, Drew. Look, dude, I knew you would probably end up in here at some point, so I held off on the mailbag questions, waiting for you. So look, we're here, my man, and whatever's on your mind, let me know, but we will get to your question here shortly. Sorry, man, busy arguing with the wife about nothing. Hey, know how that goes. We were having some intriguing conversation today. She just got home actually a little bit ago. We weren't arguing, but it's just, I know how that goes. And, but yeah, we were arguing with the world, really. We were teaming up, but I hear you, my man. I hear you, but appreciate you tuning in this Friday night. Hope you're doing well. Hope you, the baby, the family, everybody is doing well. Appreciate you taking the time, my man. And look, you had a good one, so you're here. Why not just jump right into these mailbag questions? So starting us off here in the building is Drew, my man. So we're going to get right to his question. And this was another one where I saw before I was going to go on, and he's lucky I checked these now. But Drew, my man, coming in with the what sports figure, alive or not, would you want a sit down with? I paraphrased it because I believe it was something about shooting the shit, something like that. I loved it. But YouTube, I got to watch out for them, man. They're on me. But you see here, which sports figure? And look, if you guys have any opinion on this, this is a great one, man. And every time people ask me this, it's always like, well, this guy, oh, man, this would. So I'm going to try to keep it Eagles here, right? Because there's a lot of great sports figures and people that have done things off the field, and Muhammad Ali. There's so many cool people that it would be very awesome just to pick their brain. But we'll stick with the Eagles here. And again, if you guys have any thoughts on this, you have somebody, you can tell me why. You don't have to tell me why. You could just say whatever it may be. But I know how it goes. But look, for me, this is a weird one because it used to be Brian Dawkins. And for those of you that have been tuning in, a couple years ago, he was actually supposed to come on here. And I was quite excited, quite ecstatic about it. Tried to keep the lid on it. And then, some things fell through with him. That was fine. It was going to be a later date, whatever. And just kept not happening. And I was like, oh, all right. And then he ended up going on with a different group. And then a group I had worked with got him on, and I was like, oh, okay, well then, maybe I could just talk to him then or say something. And so I was like, all right, what's my role going to be here? Like, what are we doing here? And it was like, well, you're actually not going to be on the interview. And I was like, oh, well, okay, well, maybe, I'll just talk to him on the back end. Like, actually, we just don't want you there at all. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was just like, all right, stopped working for those people and ended up like trying to reach out again. And it was like, all right, dude, this is just never going to happen. Now, I'm just going to say Brian Dawkins will always be one of my favorite players of all time. But after that, I was just like, all right, dude, whatever, man. Maybe one day I'll get to talk to him. But he was cool. When I was really sick in the hospital, reached out to him. He said some really cool stuff, said a prayer for me, and said he's a really great person. So don't get me misconstrued here. But to me, it's just not the pinnacle for me. It's not the top anymore because I was already super excited about it. Then I got whatever, man. But it was just like, whatever. So now there's someone that, I don't know, if you were a guessing man or woman, you could probably take a wild guess here, wild card, as to who I'm about to throw out here at you. And, well, it's a guy I've already kind of talked to a couple times in my life, but I need that moment where I can just sit down with him and we need to chop it up. So Howie Roseman. Now, for those of you who tune in, you know that I'm a very big Howie Roseman fan. And look, a lot of slander for the man the last few years, and stood my ground and stood firm in my belief that, winning the Super Bowl was a great thing. And having a quarterback quit on you and certain things happening are not good. So I still believed in the guy, and I think people see why. 5 years later, making it back to the Super Bowl, building something that he has, I think the work he has done, and then getting to hear his story on Jason Kelsey's podcast, like, bro, just how much he was grinding, how much he just kept harassing these people. Well, it reminded me of a certain someone, well, in that picture right there. And Look, this was the second time. The first time I met him, I was in a wheelchair. And I told him, look, I'm getting out of this effing wheelchair and I'm going to be working with you one day. He said, okay, sure. So in this picture, I walk up to him. Okay. So you see behind him, that's where the players, he's on the field. Right now, we are on the field where the players practice. We're right at the edge there. And like right when I turned around, when I was there with my guy, he was leaving with the players and stuff. So I'm like, is it cool if I stay? And they're like, yeah, you got the wristband and everything. I'm like, oh, awesome. I turn around and there he is, just standing on the field with like, I don't know, 5, 6 people. And I'm just like, you got to go talk to him. So I just start walking toward him and I just blacked out. And I get there and I'm like, what the you would think I would be like, okay, thinking of something to say in this walk up to him. And instead I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What am I going to just like, oh, excuse me. Just walk right into these people. They're probably like, who the fuck, like, who's this long-haired hippie son of a bitch? And I'm like, look, Howie, I don't know if you remember me, but I was in a wheelchair, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but regardless, I told him, look, you did a great job, man. Do not listen to these haters. I think this year we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go. And he's like, I appreciate your confidence, and this was last year. So clearly we made it. You guys remember I asked him to come on the show, was unable to get a hold of the person, whatever. Him. That's who I want to talk to. I don't want to have to go through anybody. I don't want to talk to anything else. And I don't just want to have him on the show. I really want to sit down with him. I want to have a discussion about what I could bring to the Philadelphia Eagles and, talk to him about what he thinks maybe I could bring to the Eagles. And, I'm going to show him first what I can. So I think that I just need a chance. Third time's a charm, baby. And this year I'm going to try to make it happen to the best of my ability. So that is my goal, is to be able to have a conversation where I can show my worth and be able to work with him for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is the ultimate goal here, man. So Howie Roseman, and then, by association, Jeffrey Lurie is the one who really needs to give me, that job and pay me. So that's what I'm all about, my man. So if I'm picking anybody, I'm going with Howie Roseman. I can't believe that's where I'm at in life. And, it's funny, as a kid, you love the players, all this, but it just, as I've continued to build and grow, like being around the players and things like that, it just, they become, they are human beings here, but it's just like being there last year. That picture right there of Howie and I, that's the only picture I took, all other than the one for that family with Isaac Zamalu. But the whole time I'm standing there, I've got Jason Kelsey to the right of me, Lane to the left of me, Jordan Mailata right here, bro, like, and I just played it cool. Howie Roseman was the only person I want. So that's where I'm at. And I like that. It's like, okay, I need to be there because that's ultimately what I'm trying to accomplish here. So for me, it's Howie Roseman, but I'd love to hear who you guys have. I know Reggie White is always a popular one. A great dude I'd love to hear from as well, but there's plenty of them in here. So whoever you guys have on your mind, let's effing go. Let's hear it. We've got one for Kelsey. We got laughing at Howie. Oh, dude, I've already met the players. I hang out with the players. I talk to them. I'm trying to make that money. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And that's just ultimately my goal, to prove my worth to him and be able to have that conversation. That's all I need. I don't want a minute conversation where I'm just shooting the shit quickly. Nope. I want to sit down with that dude. And it's sicko season, bro. That's what I'm all about. The numbers, all that crazy stuff. That's me, man. And, I'm out of my playing days. I can't play anymore. I just throw with my kid. That's about as far as I can go, But BG would be awesome. That would be a hell of a player to me. And Jalen Hurts would be awesome. I'd love to, chat with him. And the ultimate goal, though, is if I meet with Howie Roseman, I get to work with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then every single player I get to meet on a daily basis and, make exciting content for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is the goal here. So Howie Roseman's kind of like, just kind of cheating. You know what I mean? I take him, I win that one, and then boom, I'm talking to all the players, right? But yeah, I would love to meet so many of the players. I gave a shout out to Jalen Hurts last year, and a little pat on the shoulder there, but that was about the extent of that. But I'd love to, hang out with him for a little bit. He's a pretty cool young man. Top 5 teams: the NFC: Eagles, Niners, Cowboys, Giants, Vikings. Not for me. Yeah, but hey, no doubt, man. That's an intriguing list there. But for me, the Giants are definitely not number 4. We'll have to see how the Vikings look. Cowboys are decent, but I'm not sure I want to give them 3. The Niners, we'll see how they do. They're decent. But mix it up for me. Is that the name of our new gang? Jimmy Sickos. Yeah? Big Jim, my man. You guys are a bunch of sickos. So, yes, you are my little sickos. And I love it, man. This is sicko season. And you guys, we help each other get through these times because, look, man, I've always been like this. I'm obsessive over this stuff. But before, I had to literally talk to myself about it because nobody gives a shit about this stuff. So I'd be trying to talk to my friends about cap space and they'd be like, what the fuck? What is that? Like, no, we need to sign everyone. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't work with the cap. And they're like, there's no such thing, man. And luckily in today's world, I sought out, to change the game, and I have really been doing that. You can see, man, people are finally talking about the cap space. People are talking about things that actually really matter. And before it was, oh, they don't exist. And it's like, well, they do just because you don't understand it. So if you're here listening to that kind of stuff, Jim, you're a sicko. So yes, that is your names. And I love you sickos, son of a bitches. Look, I look so forward to this. And the Fridays are always awesome because you guys you get me drifting off to sea, and I love every effing second of it. But keep speaking into reality. I'm going to do my best, Twisted. And my brother gave me some good advice the other day. I think I missed some comments. Let me get back up here. My brother gave me some good advice the other day. Write down what you want. And he's like, so write down, you're going to work for the Philadelphia Eagles 30 times each morning when you wake up. Just, write it and envision what that's going to look like. What's your life going to look like while you're doing that? And I've really been doing my best to try to do that. So trying to envision it, trying to see it. And it's like, dude, let's go. So I appreciate the hell out of all of you. And you're going to ride with me to the top, man. Look, I plan to work for the Eagles so I can make it the content 10 times better. You know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'm going to make it 10 times more insane. And they're going to give me better quality video. They're going to give me all the PFF, the SIS, all the stats all those guys have that makes them smart. Bro, I'll copy and paste stats all day if that's all people want. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. I'm all about it, man. But if the Eagles and Hurts look better with Shane's second calling plays, do you think the offense will be efficient? Looked better than what? Brian Johnson has not called plays for the Eagles yet. So it can't be better because I haven't seen it yet. But whoever is knocking on Brian Johnson is probably just the same people that said Jalen Hurts couldn't, develop. So you just don't listen to what they have to say because this is actually really good for Jalen Hurts. And I think Brian Johnson's actually going to do better for Jalen Hurts than Shane Steichen did. Yo, dude, sorry about that, Jim. Missed your original hello here. But I hope you're having a great start to your weekend, my man. And appreciate you tuning in, dude. And look, it's going to be a tiresome 86 days here. I'm going to be real with you, but we're going to get through it, man. And I have a lot of stuff mapped out, but there's also random things that will happen. I'll do my best. And I've got some great people in here like Drew and Liz and Fuma who signed up. So you diehard fans are going to be creating some of the shows, some of the topics, so keep tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. My man DJ and you, let's effing go. I appreciate you all tuning in. Let's go, man. Appreciate you taking the time on this weekend, man. That's what it's all about. So I love it, man. I cannot thank you enough. You guys are awesome, and you're going to help me get there, man. So let's go. Yo, Boise, let's effing go, Dylan. Appreciate you, dude. I am very excited about Nolan Smith myself. And, they talked about getting some off-ball work at linebacker, and I'm all about that, dude, because the dude is going to be a rotational piece to start off, and that's perfectly fine. You'll hear, oh, he's a first-round pick, but he's not starting. It's like, well, we have Josh Sweat and Son Reddick, and we had 70 sacks last season, so almost broke the NFL record. So he's part of the rotation. He gets added in and makes them better, right? But if this dude can get snaps at a position where we kind of need a little bit of help, have some depth there, why the hell not, right? So more than excited myself there, Dylan. Appreciate you tuning in, man. And look, I'll be real with you. Nolan Smith, regardless of starting or not, he's going to get a plethora of snaps, and he's going to whoop some ass, and he is the future here at edge rusher for the Eagles. So very, very excited myself, my man. Hope you're having a great weekend, dude. How would you go about getting a gig with the Eagles? Well, I'm going to talk to Howie Roseman. That's how. But no, I'm working on a letter right now that I'm going to send to the person that was talking about, have him on the show. I don't care about that. What I want is an opportunity. That's what it's going to be about. Whether that have to be an internship, I'll do whatever it takes, dude. I don't care. I just need an opportunity to prove myself. I don't have the resume. I was not entitled growing up. I don't have the fancy, pretty stuff. My resume shows just a lot of really hard work. So I'm hoping that is something that could mean something in this country for once. Like, I actually worked really hard my whole life because, well, first off, I was a jackass and really went down the wrong path here, and just I chose work rather than chasing my real dream. And look, it took almost dying to get me here, but here we are, baby. But look, man, I just need opportunity. That's all. So I've been putting in the work, right? These past few years, I'm just showing all the media members, all these people that, know what they're talking about by just continuously proving that stuff wrong. So doing my best out here, ladies and gentlemen. And appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mallory, and everyone else. You guys, with all of your kind words, everybody that's been tuning in. If you're new to the channel, I really can't thank all of you enough for, subscribing, tuning in. And I'm sorry that I can't always catch all of you live. I try to make these around the same times, but my world is just pure chaos. But look, if you guys ever miss any of these shows, even a Fan Friday where you just want to throw something in, you got a wild question, something random, I always say it, feel free to comment down below. That it will help me too. It helps me in the algorithm when you guys comment more after the video is over. That helps. So don't be shy. If you guys ever have any kind of questions, feel free to reach out. But I appreciate you taking the time. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. And let's effing go Birds. My man, Wavy D in the building. Let's go, my dude. Appreciate you. And love seeing. Yeah, man. And look, I've tried to get him on here, and he was not about it. He likes staying under the radar, and that's perfectly fine. And I was saying on the show last night, I did an original show like a month before. Well, it was like 3 weeks, something like that. But I posted it. And when I did, I, gave him a shout out. And I was like, for more detailed, crazy content, go check him out. And apparently a couple of people went out there and just were, I don't know, fighting with him or something. And then he was offended at me for it. I don't know. And I was just like, yeah, I'm really good on the childish stuff. I've dealt with that literally the last few years. People upset at me for trying to explain Hertz. Upset at me for explaining the cap space, all this stuff. Look, I'm not here to argue or listen to people whining, man. I just want to talk birds and be happy. I've got a disease. I have no idea how much time I've got left. I just want to be happy. Please, for the love of God, for anyone trying to project their shittiness, please take it elsewhere. You know what I mean? And it's just, so that was chaotic, but I was just like, oh God, now the dude's definitely not coming on. But I gave him a shout out yesterday again and was just like, please, people, do not harass this man. Just go check out his content for the love of God. But I was explaining to my kid today, I was like, look, buddy, people are going to be negative and complain about anything they can. I could tell you the grass is green and they're going to argue it. So it's just part of the way it is. But hey, man, I love his content. He's got some great stuff, and I told people last night, go check him out. Used to work for the Eagles under Andy Reid and Doug Peterson. So some really great stuff there. And I tried, man. I really did try. And it's hard, man, to get people to come on. It was like Dawkins, back then that was, no one else was bringing people on. That was just my thing. And, that same group, they told someone else that was real sick, and he's, a poor little guy. And I felt bad for him too, but they're like, just do exactly what Jimmy's doing. Yeah, dude. And that kid, of course, when he started doing, they're like, well, yeah, we don't care about you, bro. And look, I don't care. I wanted people to, this poor little dude. And he got such great things out of it. And that's, to me, that's what really counts. But it was like, wait a damn minute, because no one ever would come on. So I just stopped. And now you see all kinds of people are bringing guests on and stuff. I'm like, I need to start doing that again. So it is what it is. I said this to you guys the other day, though. I was like, I'm done not doing stuff just because everyone hijacked everything that I created, So it's hard for me to do all these things now that, I create this YouTube. Being a one-man gang, dude, like doing all of these posts and all this stuff and trying to create clips and the extra stuff it's extra, man. And it'll weigh on you, dude. That's for sure. But appreciate you tuning in, my dude. Hope you're doing well, William. Hope you're having a great start to your week. A fan base can be really childish. Yeah, man, it is what it is. And hey, they were brutal when I was, still really sick and trying to explain why Nick Foles would win the Super Bowl. You should have seen the death threats and the things I was getting then. It was like, holy shit. But when we won the Super Bowl, I was like, I don't care about whiny ass fans, and they'll be back when we're winning. And of course they did when we won the Super Bowl. But, now you've got this whole new set of fans, and dear God, in this 5 years I've been doing it, but dude, holy shit. You guys know me. I'm the nicest person in the world. I'll give my shirt off my back, but people hate that. And they hate that, I have struggled in life and have had a hard. It's like, oh, dude, so entitled people get pissed, and they don't like that I speak up when they steal my work. So it's just, look, man, I'm over it in life, and I'm trying to build my brand. There's nothing I can do anymore. They're going to continue taking it. People are going to continue hijacking. They're going to get, free work nonstop for me. But I have to keep believing that I will literally get my opportunity with Howie. So I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, whatever, keep pushing forward. I know you guys don't need to hear or care about that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just keep talking birds, baby. They can only hold me back for so long. That's just my thought process. You know what I mean? So screw them, dude. Screw them. Can you share your disease? Yeah, man. I have cirrhosis of the liver and a bunch of other health problems that come along with it. But nothing I can't handle. But I appreciate that, Jim. I really do appreciate your prayers and all of you guys that are always trying to send the positive vibes and the kind words and everything else that you guys are doing out there. Really, I can't thank you enough. I wouldn't be able to have gotten over this disease without my family, you guys, the Eagles. And I know it sounds crazy because the Eagles usually are the ones that are almost killing me, but they help me fight for that. And look, man, I'll be real with you. It's been an insane road. And I have, gone the route without any medications. I've gone all natural, as you guys know. And it's made things intense. And, I still have my times. It gets rough, but I just keep trucking right through it, man. Nothing's going to stop me. I have that 1% better mindset, and it's just I'm going to keep continuing to do that. So with you guys on my side, nothing could stop me. And you guys have seen I've unfortunately had to miss shows because I was in the hospital, but I don't care. I'll make a live video from the hospital. I'll make, a post from there. I don't care, man. I don't ever like missing out on this. This is family to me. So you guys are awesome. So I appreciate that, Jim, man. I really do. And look, it's something I'm going to have until, I get a transplant one day, but I just got to continue to stay healthy. You know what I mean? And hey, I'm a positive man, and I'm going to keep rocking and rolling, but I appreciate you, Jim. I really do. And yeah, I wish I really do, but yo, my man, Lil, appreciate you tuning in, dude. Hope you're having yourself a great weekend, my dude. And look, we talked about this last Friday, actually. Happy Friday to you, Liz. Appreciate you tuning in. Liz, big shout out to you. Hope you're still doing well. But yeah, Jim, I got cirrhosis of the liver by drinking. So we all know that is the number one killer of hard drugs in the world for a reason. So that was part of the conversation last week, Jim. But yeah, man, I'm good. Don't worry. I got this. I've got a great support system. My woman, my kid, my dog, they're awesome, even though my dog can make it worse at times with his insanity. But look, I've got you guys here. I couldn't ask for it. It put me on this path. It was the biggest eye opener I've ever had. It was a blessing in disguise. And sure, one day I'm going to be scared shitless when I go to get a transplant, but hey, man, I'm just going to stay positive. And I know I've got you guys sending me all the prayers, the positive, everything, man. And I truly appreciate that. So Liz, I'm really glad you tuned in here at the end. We've got one more mailbag question, and I got to get going around 9 o'clock. So got about 10 minutes left here. So get in whenever you guys got. Liz, hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Hope you had a great week. Hope you enjoyed that birthday weekend. And look, we've been talking all week about all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that was thrown in here, if you miss it, it's going to be part of this next question. So I've kind of held off mentioning it, but you'll see here, David, big shout out to you, my dude. Appreciate you getting that question in to the mailbag. But you see here, David's question for this Fan Friday is, if the Eagles don't use their cap space, does it carry over to next year? He also added in that he thought that Howie, most likely would try to spend that money. Okay, so David, thank you again for that question. It's a good question that, is asked a lot of the time. So with the cap space, right now we're looking at $13.85 million. I've got the graphic with, don't worry, I'll show you that here in a second. But what we talk about is, a couple of months ago when we were talking about the draft, you have to keep money for the draft picks. You have to keep money for this, that. We're always keeping things in the future in mind, right? So next year, we've got cap space. There's nothing to worry about. Jalen Hurts contract, all those things that Cowboys fans and people that don't understand the cap are making up. No one cares. We're perfectly fine. So you don't need to, do anything, to create money necessarily right now. So there's no like, oh my God, we have to have that money roll over. But short answer, yes, that money would carry over. But right now, what you have to understand about this, let's take a look real quick at this graphic. It's the top 51 players. That's what you're seeing right here. The top 51 is what the offseason salary cap consists of. So week 1 it will be the top 53 players, anyone on IR, the practice squad, everybody will be accounted for that is on the team. So right now in the offseason, it's just the top 51, and these are the top 51 salary cap hits for the Eagles. All of them listed right here, 17 per row there. So you can see, or column, whatever. So you can see the guys in green. Those are the new players, whether drafted or signed. And look, man, 13.85 million at this time is still a good amount of cap space. So the reason you have money like that at this time is just like last season. You look at what you've got in training camp. You look at, the preseason. You say, hey, maybe I need this position. Maybe I need a safety. Maybe I need a linebacker. Maybe I don't need any of them. But if you do, you've got that money. So you go ahead and you trade. You've got that. But you got to realize, again, that more people will count against that cap space. But then again, maybe someone that's a little higher might go away. So it's really iffy to tell. So let's just say, you want an extra 4 or 5 mil there. Okay. So let's just say we're working with around 10 million. Now, you also want to be cautious throughout the season that, if anything were to happen to one of your star players, maybe you need some cap space to trade for somebody. You need to sign somebody. So it is good to have a little bit of that money because of the fact that what I answered in the beginning is that money does roll over. So if you have it in case of emergency, great. Then you can go get someone. If you don't use it, great. It adds on next year. So you've got even more cap space next season. So either way, that money, it's great to have it right now. So there's no rush. You talk about the Budda Baker, all the rumors that keep popping up every other day. And it's like, Howie is not rushing into anything. And if there is something in the works, maybe they're just, working on some things. But right now you're at a kind of a lull where they're, in my opinion, I think they're going to want to see what they have here. And they're going to, take a look at training camp and the preseason. And after that, decide, okay, we need another linebacker. Okay, we need another safety. Okay, we need a kick returner. Whatever it may be that they want to add, they can do just that. And man, they've got the money to do it. As I just showed you there, 13.85 million. That's a lot of cap space, ladies and gentlemen. So great question, David. I thank you. And a big shout out to Drew as well. Appreciate both of you guys getting those mailbag questions in. But some great stuff there for sure. And indeed, it was a great question. The first question tonight was by Drew. And that was, if there was a player, past or present, that you would, like to sit down and talk with. And that was a good one for me, but sports figure. And I'm glad he worded it that way because he knew I was going with a non-player and I went with Howie. So, but if anybody watching, you've got who you would like to talk to, let me know. I'd love to hear it. My father passed away from cirrhosis of the liver as well. And my grandfather. And now my freaking cousin just got it and just watched my best friend a couple months die from it. So I know the truth about alcohol, and I don't want to upset people. I know that's a drug that really, it's got this world by the balls, and you don't want to, and I'm talking down on the drug, not anybody that uses it. Don't think I'm personally attacking you. This is something that tried to kill me, has killed many of my friends and family, and it's the most deadly hard drug in the world. So that's why, please. And people misconstrue it all the time. And I'm really sorry to hear that, Jim, but I'm very vocal about it because it has too taken people from me. But my dad actually quit when he was 32. He that's awesome to really hear that. The new liver, I heard a complete opposite story of that, Jim. When I was in the hospital, they told me there was a guy that got the new liver and the kid drank right away, but his new liver he had the tolerance, his liver didn't, and he died. That scared the shit out of me. So hearing that is really, really awesome. And I think that, having an opportunity to have some time with your father, that's awesome, dude. And my father also got a transplant, but my father was in Vietnam. Then he was a hippie when he came back. And that's a long story for another day, but he got cirrhosis and he became a drug and alcohol counselor, and he didn't touch drug for over 30 years and it still got him. So Yeah, man. But that's awesome to hear because, he got a new liver as well, had some extra time. I'm hoping I just try to stay healthy and do what I can and to avoid that as much as I can. And I know it'll eventually come, but hey, I'm going to keep staying strong as much as I can. You cannot re-sign Smitty. So no, you don't have to re-sign him ASAP. He's got to play one more year and then we will work out a new deal with him. Off topic, Nick B-Day was 615, another Gemini. Hey, that's right. I'm going to have to remember that one rather than DeAndre Hopkins with your birthday. So, yeah, Nick Sirianni, 42 years old. That makes me feel like a piece of shit. But, dude, look at him go. And it's so funny when they talk about players. Hey, look, old as shit, 32 years old. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. But I love it. I love the dude. And you guys know I was very excited about signing him, was in love with him after his first presser. Most people went the opposite way, but I'm a big fan. So big birthday shout out to him. Love me some Nick Sirianni. I can't believe he got us to the Super Bowl that quick. God bless. Hey, I really appreciate you, my dude. And look, you were here part of last week's chat, and we were talking about this, alcohol, and a big shout out to you. And for how long you haven't been drinking. I believe you were 4 years, was it? But either way, there was a 4 year, a 6 year, 2 year, 2 month, 4 month. I'm all about it. 2 days. Let's go, baby. One day. It's one day at a time, baby. And I'm all about it. So you guys are awesome. And appreciate you tuning in. Really, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to get rolling out here. It's about to be 9 o'clock when I have to get rolling. But you have any final thoughts you want to throw out there? And Drew always coming with those great questions. You guys always have great ones for the Fan Friday. So I love it, love it, love it. I always look forward to these Fan Fridays. They're awesome. I too, man, I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time on these Friday nights, because it really, no matter how freaking hard it is, in a day where, if maybe this disease hasn't done anything, maybe it's kicking my ass, whatever it may be, I can always, and, usually my girlfriend will come home after these shows. So it's like, I get to hang out with you guys, then I get to spend time with her. And it's just always a great time. I look forward to this time. And really, I hope you keep coming back, because each Friday, it's special. Throughout the week, I try to give you content. I work hard at the things when I can. And it's always like, I feel like when I get on, then it's just like, oh, hey, like I'm so overwhelmed with this. I put together a couple graphics for your mailbag questions, make sure I have some things from throughout the week or something pertaining to what you're talking about. And yeah, it's much easier for me, but it's just a relaxing time, man. And we can just shoot away, man. And I love it. But I really do love you guys, and you're awesome. And the way you're able to be open with me, and you guys know I'm very open book here, man. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very, very upfront about everything, and that's something I've always taken pride in. My father taught me to be an honest person and try to be truthful at all times and just be you. And hey, I'm crazy, but it is what it is, man. I love being crazy. And if you think I'm crazy now, you should have seen me when I drank. I mean, that was pure insanity. But that is funny, because I used to tell myself I had to have alcohol to be like that. And it's like, nope, because I'll have people that tune in, never seen the show before. They're like, you're definitely smoking crack or something. I'm like, well, I probably look like it because of, how skinny I am. This effing disease sucks. I've always been skinny. It just made it worse. But bro, and it's like, and I'm crazy. So I can imagine that probably is what it comes off as. But no, man, I wouldn't even take the 9 prescriptions that they try to give me when I had cirrhosis. They're like, well, that's going to be a tough time for you. And I'm like, I doubt it. So yeah, I'm doing 10 times better than they ever thought I could be, because I didn't take their pills. So no thanks. Yeah, man, it's almost 7 years. We talked about that all last week, my man, Jim. We had Second Opinion in here, Liz. Everybody was throwing out, how long, they have had. And I truly love that, man. It makes my heart sing there. And look, I was saying, I don't go to meetings, and, I don't keep track of the days like that. I know the day, and I know it's coming up on 7 years, which is insane. But I was saying, for everyone else, it's going to be different, though. Some people need church. Some people need a counselor. Some people need to go to a meeting. Some people, it's going to be different for everyone. But I always try to say, I'm here for you guys, because we all go through things, and maybe we can, through our experiences, help each other. And I think that could really go a long way in this world where we don't see much of that. So I just do my best to relay that message every show. And you guys really get me talking about it these last couple of Fridays. So, hey, anything you guys want to talk about, it's on you. And if you're all about it, let's go, man. My dad from the cirrhosis. Yeah. And look, it's a tough one, dude. And I'm really sorry to hear that. And my father passed away at 62. And that was one of the toughest things I ever went through. And I still, man, it's still tough to think about, even though it's been over 10 years. And I miss him dearly, man. I really do. So sorry to hear that, man. You ever need someone to talk to, just want a friend, reach out, my man. It's something I'm definitely familiar with and something I'm going through right now. So if you ever wonder why I talk shit on alcohol, understand is because it's something that killed me. If you had cancer or AIDS or something, you would probably say you hate it, right? So let me hate my disease. I'm not supposed to celebrate it, am I? Nobody's running effing 4Ks for me, you know, pulling their tits. Nobody's doing that, okay? This is not a cool disease. Like, I'm not getting celebrated here. You know what I mean? So it's like, but God bless all of you. You guys are awesome. And you guys know me. I've never asked you for anything. I don't need your, nope. Just need you to understand that there may be times where I might pass out on live stream. I might feel like I'm dying. I might not be there, but it's just because this stupid little shitter tries to get in my way sometimes, but I don't let it stop me from going where I'm going, baby. So you guys are coming with me, and you guys are awesome, man. Seriously. And I appreciate you tuning in another week here. And Liz, always tuning in. I appreciate you. I really do. And man, just, you know, remembering your birthday, talking to you guys, like having conversations with my family at the dinner table, talking about you guys, like your part. Oh yeah, Liz was saying, oh, Drew was saying, and they know who I'm talking about. Like that. That's what I've dreamt of for a very long time. You know, I want this. This is family, man. You guys are truly family. And I always want you to know I'm always here for you guys. And I don't just say it. I truly mean it, man. I've been to hell and back. And I just want you to always know I'm here for each and every one of you. Love the cap number. We're going to the players. Hey, man, I'm glad you agree. Because, look, they're all going to be jumping aboard the dynasty train soon enough. This team, we're building something that's going to be unstoppable, not just this year, but for the future. Dude. And, hey, look. I try not to, but on Fridays, you know, we just talk about whatever, and you guys always get me going down whatever roads. But hey, man, look, I'm just doing what I can with the Eagles, but I'm always saying at the end of the videos, you guys ever have anything you want to talk about? I try not to, you know, bore you guys or preach to you guys. If you ever want to reach out and get more personal, talk about things maybe you don't want to say on, you know, this live stream, more than understandable. But that's why I say reach out, please. I'm always here for you guys, and really sorry to hear that, my man. And you know, his father passed out, I think it was in his 40 something, because my dad was like 18 and his dad was like 43 something, I want to say. So it can get you. You know, my friend just died a couple months ago at 36. So that's what I tell anyone, you know, and not just alcohol. If you're battling with crack or heroin, whatever drug it is, it doesn't have to, I don't care what it is, man. Reach out. I want to be here for you because I'm tired of watching people I love, you know, have their lives ruined, die from it. Unfortunately, that's what I get to see. Everybody dying, not, you know, lives ruined. It's just pure chaos. And I'm tired of burying people, man. So understand that it's from a place of love that I say these things. And I'm always here for you guys. You know, if you're going through anything, you want to talk about anything, and I truly mean it. And 4 months, 620, I'm going to remember that. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. My dad's birthday was just June 1st. I always remember that because he was born June 1st, 1950. That's pretty effing easy. Middle of the century, middle of the year. Okay, I always remember that one pretty easily. So, look, that's awesome. Seriously, every day, each day. And again, look, I don't go to meetings, but my dad was a drug and alcohol counselor who went to meetings. Even though he had 32 years sober when he passed, he still went to meetings every day just to help people, to talk about it, to get it out. And that's what you're supposed to do. And one of the things I always remembered, one day at a time. And that's what it's all about. And you can do that with anything in life, man. Not just, you know, addiction, but it's just focus on one day at a time. Now, sure, you got to set things up for the future. You can't just be, you know, blind to it, but don't get so caught up in it. And also don't get caught up in the past. So one day at a time, living in the moment. That's what I'm trying to do here. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. And I love it. I love it. You ever need anything? I mean it. I always say it, but I mean it. Reach out. I'm so proud of you, all of you that are doing that. And hey, look, maybe you guys are struggling with coffee, cigarettes, maybe, you know, TV, porn, whatever it may be. Everybody has their vice. I'm just talking about hard drugs like alcohol, crack, and heroin, because those are things I've dealt with, you know, but it could be anything. And please feel free to reach out. I'm always here for you guys. And look, that's what this is about, Jim. And, you know, you're hearing your father got a second chance. Like you guys got a second chance to actually spend time with him. You know, cherish that. And it sounds like you do, because not everybody gets that. My friend, we had a bad falling out, never got to ever talk to him again. And, you know, it was about alcohol, how I thought he should stop drinking. And, you know, my father, that was tough for me. I got to the hospital and everybody's outside his room crying. I just got there and he just passed away right before I got there. Now that messed me up for a while. Like I didn't get to say goodbye. Oh my God. Now in my life, I try to look at as last time I talked to him, I got to tell him I loved him. I didn't see him suffer. I didn't have to watch my father. You know what I mean? I thought maybe he did that because he knew I was coming. So I try to, and I know everybody's got different experiences with that, but that traumatized me. And I drank so much already because I knew it was coming and I thought I'd be ready for it. And I mean, that's how I got cirrhosis. I would wake up, drink, go to sleep, drink. I mean, any occasion, I couldn't bear to live. And anybody going through anything like that, I want you to know I'm here for you because I know what that feeling is like. And I don't like thinking about other people going through that. But God bless you, man. And I really appreciate you, sharing, because when you guys share, that makes my heart full. It lets me know like, hey man, you're on the right path here, man. Like you're doing the right thing. You got to keep being you, just like your father was. And no matter how people feel about it, man, stand up for the truth. And that's something I'm always going to do. So appreciate that. And look, Wavy D, Jim, Liz, Lil, anybody ever needs to reach out about anything, I'd love if you would, because I need a friend too, at times. And it's nice to hear from you guys, know that you guys are there. So feel free. Anything ever going on up there, man, you're not alone. Dad got his new liver 62 and passed at 70. That's awesome that he got those 11 years, man. I love that, because after my dad got his, he had so many other things going on that things just started going awry. And in the end, we were just talking about this, man. Like he just wasn't himself. And that was really rough. But hearing that's awesome. And that's the kind of stuff why we talk about this, right? Because it's like, there's good, man. And my father would have loved to hear that. And knowing, that he got that liver and he did right. And he got those years with you guys. He made amends. Like that's the kind of stuff my dad was doing. And when we went to like the wake thing, it wasn't even like the funeral. Like that was crazy too. But there was like this huge bonfire thing and just hundreds upon hundreds of people just kept coming up and telling me how my dad, if it weren't for your dad, and it's like, that means a lot. And that's why I'm not a counselor. I'm not a preacher. I'm none of that stuff. But I always try to speak from, what he taught me and about just caring about others and being there and just, being the change. And that's something I try to do, not just with football, but in life in general. And I think we could all use it because we see how insane it is out there. So just trying to do my part. And I love you all. You've got me all. You guys are, you got me going here. But Liz, thank you. And he's a great dude. And I hope, someday, whatever you guys believe in, whether we get to see those people again, I truly believe, still here with me, in certain ways, how I see those things. There's ways I try to, prove those people right. Because most of the people that believe me when I was younger are gone. And I think that, really messed me up. And that's why I drank a lot, and not using excuses, but I try to remember that and try to use that as fuel. You know what I mean? So, try to use those things that used to jack me up. I try to help them strengthen me now. So that's just part of, the deal here. But you guys, I love you. I really do. And you really get me going here on these Fan Fridays. So I always look forward to it. Now, got a busy weekend, but I do have, a couple shows that are started here. I'm going to try my best to make a show every damn day through this off season. So do not fear. I'm going to try to be here tomorrow. You know what Saturdays are, though. But if it's raining, I'm not going to be Lawnmower Man. So maybe it'll be an early one. I really don't know. We'll see. Maybe the news will take us somewhere and we'll have something to talk about. I don't know. But until that next time, I am Jimmy Smith. And this is On the Road to Victory. And I appreciate each and every one of you opening it up. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just watching it. But maybe this helped. Maybe this can give you the motivation to, change or go get some help, do whatever. Or maybe you just want to reach out. I love it, man. And look, don't think that your stories and the things you say and the questions, all that, don't think that doesn't help me too. So I really can't thank you enough. This stuff, it means the world to me that you guys are willing to listen, willing to open up, and you sick son of a bitches, you. I love you all. It's sicko season, and here we are, man. On a Friday night in June, talking birds. That's effing dedication. That's what I love to see. You diehards in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I hope you all have a great night. This was a great conversation. I really appreciate all of you who chimed in here or just were watching. If you are watching later, you want to chime in, please feel free to do so. And you guys did that last week. I love that, man. Be part of the conversation. I know a lot of people got things going on Friday. So maybe you're watching this tomorrow morning, late tonight. It's 3 a.m. What, you got something to say? I want to hear it. So let's keep talking those birds. Let's get through this, baby. 86 days away from week 1, baby. So we've got this. We're going to get through it. But I hope you're all having a great Friday. Hope you all have yourselves a great weekend. Again, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. But that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe down below. But I hope to see you tomorrow, if not Sunday. But I'll see you when I see you. Until then, you all stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now, chat. Go Birds!